Good evening, everybody. We will be with you in around about 3.5 minutes. We do apologise for the late start here, but we do have the special guest again, Andy Moore, with us tonight. We will be going at 8:35. So once again, do apologise for the late start tonight. Should have been 8 o'clock. We are going live right now, and once again, my bad on that one. I do apologise.
Yo, hi, I'm going to leave the chat here and then watch the stream.
Yeah, thank you, bye.
Alright, no worries.
Cheers, mate, thank you. Welcome. Hello, everybody. A little bit later scheduled than normal, but we're here. It's round 8 of the Tuatara Championship. We're joined here today by the infamous, the famous. It's Andy Moore. Andy Moore, welcome in, buddy.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me.
Welcome in, mate. Yes, so we're at round 8 today. It's the USA Grand Prix Texas. How do you feel at the track of Texas now? It's now becoming one of, 3, 4 races in America? Which one would be your favourite?
Well, I think my favourite has to be Miami because I do love the view, the sandy beaches, and it feels like a holiday at the same time of being at the Grand Prix.
It does indeed, but obviously in real life, Texas has got the record for the biggest attendance on the calendar. However, that was beaten this year by our very own home Grand Prix, Silverstone. But can they do it again for next year? Who knows? But today, for now, it is the round 8 of the Tuatara Championship, and it's all to play for. Only 3 rounds remaining. And this is definitely heating up for the championship. Do apologise. It doesn't look... I hope we don't have a glitch in this game at the minute. But we'll see. Welcoming everybody watching this race. Today we are waiting for the game to catch up. Please don't tell me we've got it. Oh, there we go. There we go. So before we get going, let's have a look at the team lineups. We do have a few reserves in today, but we're just going to go off who is in the full-time team. So, without further ado, we've got the Alfa Romeo of Oyster and Icebreak Nick in the AlphaTauri, Def Peacock and Z92, unfortunately not here today. The Alpine, we've got Gagley and Nathan Clark, AFC Wapple and I See You in the Aston. The Ferrari of Mansu and F1 Alex, unchanged today. Slapbus and J Field in the Haas. We've got Expo and F1 Lewis in the McLaren. The Mercedes team of Carlson and Sam. Sam unfortunately can't make it today. TTG Chris and Xbox Gulva. Xbox Gulva's had to pull out of the league, unfortunately. Andre and Matt Caruana in the Williams. Matthew Caruana also not available today. Fatty is taking his place as well. Thank you very much for the resub, Owen. 700 hours. Owen Sharpie has watched this channel for. What an absolute amazing achievement that is for this channel. But we've got 17 minutes left of the qualifying session here, and we've got a lot of cars out on track. So let's get into the gameplay. All right, first person out on track then at the minute is going to be the first one to cross the line. Death Peacock in the AlphaTauri. Unfortunately, it is a lobby restart. Unfortunately, the camera settings of everything we were late already. The camera settings have been forced on cockpit view, so it is a lobby restart, and we're going to have to be going into an intermission here now. It's going to be about 10 minutes before we get going again. Are you there still, Andy? Andy, are you there, buddy?
Right.
Yeah, I can hear you, buddy.
Good. Okay, so when will be again the request?
I'm just getting Vincenzo back in.
All right.
So I'm just getting F1 Vincenzo back in, and then. Vincenzo, sorry mate, we need you back in to crack on again, unfortunately.
It's alright, it's alright.
So I'm setting up the lobby. I've invited everyone on PlayStation. They should be coming in. Once again, stream, we do apologise. It does happen. It seems to, since they've updated the equal cars again, this happened again in esports prospects this week, didn't it? So a lobby restart it is. Andy Moore, how is your TikTok going these days?
Not bad, thank you. I've done another good viral TikTok of saying the restaurants in the funniest pronunciation, and I had a few ideas. For some reason, I haven't gone viral. TikTok's been up and down lately for the past few days.
It has. It's
but-
been difficult, hasn't it? I mean, I've noticed TikTok just isn't this. It's been a little bit inconsistent. Is the word, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, there has been some strange things going on TikTok. I have been seeing some old videos from a few months ago, quite a few times on my For You page.
Yeah.
It could be TikTok sorting something out, maybe, because quite a few of my other friends have been having this problem too. So it's not just me, because there has been multiple other people having the same issue.
Exactly. Yeah. Including myself. Including myself. Okay, so if we can get Andy Moore back in and Fenzenzo, are you in here yet or not?
I'm just loading in now.
Okay, so we need Andy Moore back in and obviously the rest of what you've invited.
Yeah, that's right.
If it wasn't bad enough that we were late on the stream today, it had to make it a little bit worse, didn't it? With the fact that we've had a glitch in the game. So bear with us, guys. We have got the lobby set up. We have got 11 drivers in so far. We're just waiting to get Andy Moore in. The admins are working extremely hard to get this sorted as quick as we can. And Andy Moore's in. So we're just going to wait for the rest of the drivers to come in. Like I say, we've got the, as you can hear, Finzenzo in the background, one of our head admins and stewards, really stepping up to the mark today. And we will get going. Unfortunately, it's going to be a very late start. But we will get going with... it's going to be late, but we're getting going. No messing about. It's going to be an 18-minute qualifying still. And, of course, 50% race around this Texas circuit. Hopefully, we should not get a glitch. However, just to explain, guys, if we do get a glitch in this race on the second attempt of going, we will be postponing this race and adding it onto the championship onto next. So we're going one more bite at the cherry. And then if it does fail again, it will be postponed, unfortunately. But we should be okay. It doesn't normally like to fail twice, does it, Andy? Hopefully.
No. Yeah, because it has happened before with other leagues I've been on. We have had a few glitches, including the Alpine Esports, but these things just happen.
Of course, yeah, I've got to change it to clear weather as well, haven't I? I've just realised. Clear weather. There we go. So we've got clear weather for this race because it did let us know on this already. It's still on forced cockpit. How? How is it still on forced cockpit? I don't understand. There, it should be off now. Okay, have you left, Vincenzo?
Yeah, I've left.
Perfect. Right, let's ready up. Wow, that's got to be the quickest lobby restart. I have never seen a lobby be done and ready so quickly. Brilliant. Okay, so we're going back in again. Thank you very much for being patient with us here today. We are 45 minutes late to what we should have been, and half an hour. That was my own fault, believe it or not, guys. I had a little nap and didn't wake up to the alarm, and it was 6 minutes past 8 when I woke up, and I was in a bit of a panic mode. So a big shout out to F1 Finzenzo, the guy that's in the chat right now. He has stepped up massively today, and this wouldn't be happening tonight if this guy did not step up. So big shout out to F1 Vincenzo for sorting all of this out for the Tuatara Championship. Very much a well-deserved admin. What do you say to that, Andy?
Oh, I think he's done a great job for helping us set this up, and I don't think we could have done it without him.
We definitely couldn't, and obviously with the lobby restart as well, he's come back into it, boom, done it again, and I think that's the quickest lobby restart I think as anyone has seen known to man. So big thank you and a round of applause for our man Vincenzo. Great job. All right, Andy, we're back in the game. Hopefully, we don't have this problem, and we can get some qualifying runs in. Waiting for the guys. It's going to be clear weather because that's what it said in the game before we went in. Should we take a breather for a minute? I like that Tuatara hat, mate. It's looking snazzy.
Thank you. I noticed you're wearing yours as well.
I am. To be fair, I've got the top top upstairs as well. Any looking sexy ever? Andy's looking sexy as ever, says F1 Lewis in the chat. Oi oi.
Well, thank you very much.
Might have to cop the hat. Alrighty then. So, guys to look out for tonight. Carlson, our championship leader, Andy Moore, in the Mercedes. Unfortunately, it's IRT Crack, who is his teammate today. Sam had an operation not long ago and he's still in recovery. So he's got a reserve with him as his teammate today, which is IRT Crack. But Carlson really has to do a job here because with his penalties from last week, if you remember, he managed to go from 14th to 3rd, but he had penalties for resetting to track and he was outside the points. If you want to keep an eye on the Tuatara Championship, !Tuatara in the chat. You get to the website, everything is on there now. Me and Andy are friends on TikTok. That's my Feld of the World. Feld of the World? What's that mean, Andy? I'm not sure what that one means.
I have no idea what that means.
Nah, me neither. Anyway, let's get into the qualifying session. Finally, hopefully, no problems here. And we can now have a nice, smooth race like the Tuatara Championship has always been. Let's get into it. Andy, we've lost you there, mate. We've lost you, Andy.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sorry, we lost you there for a minute.
Oh, good.
Right. Andy, you still there? Aha. Right. Okay. Bear with, guys. I've just realised what's happened here. We can't hear him when we go into the collab cam.
And I can see J. What's going on here?
Yeah, sorry, mate.
Oh, but his teammates, Lap Bus is starting his blind lap. And here we go, he's going through the S's.
Right,
Yeah,
who
this is
are
a
we on,
really tricky
Andy?
part
Sorry,
of the
mate,
track.
we've had some issues here. Well, who are we on, Andy?
Oh, I'm on the Slap Bus.
All right, Slapbus then
I'm
is
bored then.
invalidated his lap. Let's go to F1 Lewis then. F1 Lewis in the McLaren. Once again, we seem to be having some difficulties here, but here we go. F1 Lewis in the McLaren. He's very much improved on this F1 23 game, and he is on a charge here in the Tuatara Championship as well. What can he do on his first hot lap here? 14 minutes left, so plenty of time left. And look, a lot of drivers see can cut that drive. Oh, that looks a little bit wide. He's got Alpine ahead of him, but he's still not invalidated. Looking good indeed here for the McLaren.
Yeah, it looked like he cut across the track, but he just was about in track limits, and he's using so much of the track as much as possible.
He definitely is, and this long sweeping right corner actually made up of 3 turns, but it's just one huge one, and he's got one more turn to negate here, and we're going to have our first lap time on the board. What is it going to be here for the McLaren? It's a 1:32.6.
Let's see what the others can do, and
we've got IRT.
Quickly did, very far, almost a full second, and all the boys gone faster for 1 minute 32.3.
And the other Ferrari F1 Alex crosses the lines, 1:33.34 F1 Alex. The times are coming in thick and fast now.
Just about a full second behind, plus 0.004 of a second.
A man to watch out by is the Slap Bus here. Very, very pacey driver indeed. F1 Lewis in the McLaren's down in P2 now. Emil Janssen, one of our reserve driver, putting in an absolute great first banker lap there with 1:32.656. But we're going to keep riding on board with the Slap Bus. I see you also in the championship hunt as well. He's not,
did he cut across the track? Or was that just me?
Sorry, say that again, buddy.
So I thought Slap Bus cut across the track, or was that just me? Oh, he's sliding.
He is sliding. He's not enjoying it out there.
Is he losing track?
Oh, Slap Bus.
Oh, but what a good save, though.
Great save, but Carlson
But
then.
he still ruined his lap, though.
He did indeed. Carlson in the Mercedes is on a hot lap. It is the championship leader. Round 8 of 10. 2 more races to go after this one. And Carlson really has the heat coming down on him now after scoring no points last week. The championship is separated by 18 points. And he's really got to put on a show here, the Mercedes driver, coming down the long straight here at Texas of a maximum speed of around about 203 miles per hour before he hits that braking zone. And he really can cut and use the track here, like we've seen all the drivers do so far. And this is a very technical section of the track. The back end likes to get away from you here, but it looks very tidy so far.
Yeah, very neat and tidy, and I haven't seen him slip or slide anywhere. Plus, I do like his helmet, though. It's got the Carlos Sainz Ferrari, and he's in a Mercedes.
Interesting look, but he's gone with it. We're going to ask him if he gets a podium today. We'll have to ask him that, won't we? In the podium interviews, definitely for sure. So anyway, Carlson, it is a pole lap. A 1:32.261. Carlson, then our championship leader, goes provisional pole. That was pretty much expected from him, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he did it by 0.094 thousandths of a second. That was incredible.
It was
very
indeed.
tight.
It was. J-Bite up then. Definitely got a curse. Fan in the lobby at the minute. He's currently in 3rd place, a 1:32.398. Very much in there in the hunt for this race, but it's all about race management, isn't it, in the Tuatara Championship? A lot of these drivers are very much separated between a couple of tenths, and that's it. And it all comes down to how you manage your tyres, fuel, and ERS. We've seen it week in, week out, and this is what makes the Tuatara Championship absolutely fantastic. With 10 minutes to go then, if you don't know what Tuatara is, let's take a dive right in to what they're all about. Exclamation mark Tuatara in the chat. You can get 15% off if you use code PattyPat15, and also you can keep an eye on the standings, the live updates as well for the stream for the Tuatara Championship on that website right now. So if you're watching the race right now and you want to keep an eye on who's what, where's and how, go onto that website alongside this stream and you'll be able to keep an eye on. Work it out yourself on how important these last 3 races are. Andy, how is it going out there?
Oh, it's going fine. I noticed that Nathan has gone to P9 with a 1 minute 33.2.
Yeah,
And-
not bad for the Alpine driver.
And someone's got a 5-second penalty, and it's Jensen
Oh, Jensen then's got a
in the
5.
AlphaTauri.
I wonder what that is. Maybe a little bit of blocking there. But yeah, the AlphaTauri then of Jensen, who is a reserve driver today, including, I've got to say, Emil Janssen, the Curse, and Fatty, all up in the top 7 here, and the reserve driver. So really making themselves at home here and probably stirring up a bit of a storm with the championship.
Yeah. I think Jason's best hope is to see if anyone else might get some grid penalties to help him keep a few places.
It's a long race to go. Is here. Gagley then in the other Alpine on a hot lap as we speak. His teammate there in a 1:33.226. What can the other Alpine do? Looks like is he pushing?
Ooh,
this
he's
lad?
been sliding a bit. Gagley. But he's holding it together.
So Gagley then up on his time through sector 2. But only just a little bit sliding through. It's a very technical section, isn't it? That side of the track.
Oh yes, very tricky, and especially when you're trying to accelerate, you need to make sure you don't accelerate too much, or you're going to get sliding around.
Well, here we go. Gagley crosses the line. He does improve, but it's still only 14 for the 1:33.4. He could definitely improve on that. He's got to get round, get a new fresh boots on, and go again. At the minute, then, our championship leader is the one to beat with a 1:32.261. But the times are very, very close, as it has been all season here in the Tuatara Championship.
Yeah, Gigadi is only 0.03 of a second behind third team, so he has just a little to improve to find some time.
I've noticed there's 4 drivers still yet to set a lap. Slapbus has actually invalidated again, but we're going to talk ourselves through turn 1 as we go up the hill. You break around the 50. It's a blind turn 1. You've really got to get that apex and just guess where you've got to turn, because it's completely blind. Going into turn 2 here, turn 3, very fast, very sweeping. S-bends through here. You can lose and gain a lot of time if you get it right. You've got to hook the right side before you swing it into the left as you come back up the hill. Keep it nice and tight. Don't get too hungry on the accelerator through here, because that back end will go away from you. Coming down the hill now as we approach the horseshoe bend before the absolute very, very long straight here at Kota. And he's got a little bit of a helping hand here. He's going to get a bit of a slipstream. Is that his teammate in front? I believe it is. And what great teamwork that is. So I see you. Gets a hell of a toe down the straight. And we're going to be breaking around about the 120-metre board. You can use all of the track here, as you see there, cutting across. And once again, we enter Sector 2. Very technical part of the track. We've said it before. The back end does not like this side. This part of the track at all, but he keeps it nice and tight, and I think this could be a very, very good lap time here. 3 corners into 1. It's one swoop in, flat out, 170 mile an hour. G-forces up to 4.5 G as we go down to the left side. One more corner to the gate. What is it going to be for the Aston driver? He did have help from his teammate. DRS open. It is a 1:32.284. Not good enough for Paul, but TGT Chris, the Welshman, as we were watching that, he's gone pole position, a 1:32.133. Fantastic from the Red Bull driver.
Yeah, very good distance. That's 0.13 tenths of a second. That is quite a big margin, bigger than 0.09 earlier from Mercedes.
Yeah, the Welshman then really is trying to hunt down the championship leader, and he's really taking it to him today. Pole position here by over a tenth, by nearly a tenth and a half. Let's go with that.
Yeah, that's a very healthy margin, because when you're like over a tenth, it makes you feel even more comfortable from the drivers behind.
So Slapbus then has finally got a lap time in after 2 attempts of doing it. He has got himself a 1:32.412, which is not too far at all from the top. Let's take a look at the leader. Okay, so the minute, the top 10, the top 12 are covered by 1 second. But look how close it is. The top 5 are covered, let's say the top, let's say 2.5 tenths. The top 6 are covered by 2.5 tenths, Andy. What do you think to that?
Oh, I see you just missed the pit entry. Oh, but he does go back in reverse. Oh, that he didn't hit the wall. He almost did. Oh, that was so close.
Right, riding on board at the minute. Everyone seems to be either in the pits or an outlap, but not this man. Nathan Clark, Andy, in the Alpine, is coming round for the last sector here. Hopefully. Oh, it looks a bit wobbly there. He's not enjoying it. He's going to go back in the pits, I think, and get a fresh pair on. The Curse, then, in the McLaren. What is he doing? I don't think he's pushing at all.
No, he's going way too slow for a fast lap, but I hope he doesn't go too slowly, especially on that corner, because some cars could come out nowhere at very high speeds, so
Well,
you
Def
don't want to
Peacock,
go
then,
too slow.
was the first one out on track, I believe, at the first attempt at this, before we had to reset, and he is 1.8, nearly 1.9 seconds off pole position, down in 19th, a lot of improvement, and he's just invalidated. And with only 3 minutes left to go, so this track seems to be quite difficult to some of these drivers.
Yeah, and I can see them all doing just one more lap each, and I can see them starting to come out now.
Yeah, it's going to
both
be
Mercedes leaving.
It's going to be a very, very busy track here for the last. Wow, look at this. This is heating up massively. Here we go then. A lot of drivers coming out. Carlson then currently in P2 on the front row of the grid, but can he snatch pole position here? He is out on an outlap. You've got a Ferrari of Mansu taking it to the track this time round. He's down in 5th place at the minute with 1:32.355. He's coming through sector 2 now. Let's take a look. Will the Ferrari improve on his time? But he's so close at the front here. You're talking a tenth. One tiny mistake, and that is your lap time over around this track. That's how close these guys are.
Yeah, because trying to get the perfect lap time around Texas is really trickier than most racetracks, because I find Texas so tricky, especially when I'm racing in the cockpit in the game. It's almost impossible to see the next corner.
We've also, TK will be missing the stream for next week as well, so we've got the famous Andy Moore this week, but I think it's about time we announce who we have on stream for next week, and it's another special guest, and I think I'm going to allow Andy to try and guess this one, because he's you've had a bit of beef with him before, Andy. I'm not going to lie. You've had a bit of 2 and 4, okay? And I reckon you'll be able to guess it. Okay? If I turn around and say to you, okay, the king of Formula 1 TikTok, who are you going to say?
Me.
But who was fighting you for that?
Oh, was it Josh Marsh?
It's Josh Marsh, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
We've got the American Josh Marsh coming onto the stream next week for Monaco, and that's crazy to have 2 absolute iconic figures in the Formula 1 esports industry, and Josh Marsh will be joining us next week as well. Best friends with you, isn't he, Andy?
Oh yeah, we do follow each other, and also he knows about some of the TikToks that I've done for him, like he asked for a Charles Leclerc song, which I done for him, which was Leclerc, Charles Leclerc.
He's a bit of fan of, he loves his Daniel Ricciardo, doesn't he? I'm looking forward to having a conversation with a fellow Formula 1 fan, but an American Formula 1 fan, and just understanding on their take on things and how they've got into it and how they're enjoying it and stuff like that. So, your best buddy, mate.
Yeah, and I noticed that Jason has gone the fastest lap, 1:32 dead.
Oh, wow, the times are coming in thick and fast now as we're announcing who is coming on next week. They're all coming in now. Every single driver out on track, bar Theron, is on a hot lap. This could get interesting.
Oh,
but we're going to go.
Spun off track.
We're we're going to go on to the championship leader. I think he deserves to see what he can do here as he goes through sector 3. He's invalidated.
Yeah.
Carlson will not be on pole this week. He won't even be on the front row. Wow! What can Chris do?
But GT's not doing a fast lap, I think.
No, he's not. He's finished again. I see you. He's crossed the line. The curse is coming round again. I'm not sure. Oh, we've got a... Oh, my God. It's all happening here. It looks like the track is very busy. As we go through, Oyster then is going through sector 3. All these guys not getting the track right at the last stint. And my God, he's opened it right up here. What can Oyster do? He's going down the grid here. He's in 9th place at the minute. He crosses the line. He does improve only just. Wow, this is amazing.
Yeah, I noticed quite a few cars going slowly at sector 2, and now sector 3 they're still going very slowly as long as they don't block anybody.
And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I do believe this could be qualifying over, and we have our new pole sitter. That has never happened here before. It's a reserve driver of Emil Janssen. Emil Janssen, who has a 5-place grid penalty, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah, so that means that TGT has got pole position.
He's got pole position because Janssen does have a 5-place grid penalty. Carlson starts 3rd place. Wow, this is new territory here. Woohoo, what a qualifying session.
Yeah, seeing Red Bull and Mercedes on the front row. This is like Hamilton and Verstappen all over again in 2021.
It is indeed, and my gosh, there was everyone kind of was on a hot lap pretty much. Like single, it was just crazy. You look at the map, everyone was on a hot lap, and I think the track got a little bit busy there. But as always, the top 13 covered by 1 second, guys. Big shout out to F1 Alex here, who is up in that top 13. So he's managed to see some improvement over the weeks because he is in that championship. He's in that fight there with the top 13 covered by a second, and he's amongst it. But look how close those times are for qualifying. This is what the championship's all about. This is Tuatara. Absolutely incredible. Yeah, TGG Chris does get pole. As you see there, Janssen does get a 5-place a grid penalty, but he's got the pace. He's got the pace. The 2 Swedish drivers, Carlson, Fatty, and Janssen, 3 Swedish drivers, looking very pacey indeed out there today. And the lonesome of TTG Chris, the Welshman, is going to take that pole there today. But here we go then. It's 50% race here around this Texas circuit. It is beautiful sunshine. The crowds are roaring, and it's time to go racing here. Andy, this is going to be a spectacular race. I know it is.
Oh, yes, because with all the drivers so close in pace, the top 13 just in a second of a gap of each other, this is going to be really close, and who knows who's going to win this one.
Yeah, you've also got to keep in mind as well, safety cars do happen here as well. And maybe if people didn't get the qualifying session right, but they do have pace, you've got to keep an eye on how they unfold as well. But the championship with 3 rounds to go. And like I said, TTT Chris is really, really keeping that pressure on Carlson. And Carlson's going to be starting in 2nd, I believe, now, with the Janssen 5-place grid penalty. Let's take a look. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So we've got a formation lap here. A chance for these boys and girls. If we don't think we have any girls in this championship, it would be nice to see some, but I don't think we do have any in at the minute. But yeah, the lads are warming up the tyres. They've picked their strategies, tyre loads, tyre load, fuel load, and everything like that. Trying to speculate on how much fuel to put in, if there will be safety cars, what to do here. In that respect as well. So they're all ready to go, and TGG Chris does take them round on their formation lap.
Yeah, and speaking of female racing drivers, Jessica Hawkins a few days ago drove the Aston Martin, the first female driver to drive an F1 car since 2018, and it would be nice to see F1 drivers as women as well, and maybe even in this league race. But it's so good to see that women are getting involved as well.
It definitely would, and of course, you know, the team Alpine as well in real life, they are really much on the forefront of diversity as well, and equality in respect to female drivers coming into Formula One. I was there for the Alpine launch party, and they really did go into depth on how females are really pushing themselves to get amongst it. So keep an eye out for the future. It could be a very much of a mixed grid with these very young, talented females coming up through the ranks and doing a bloody good job at it as well. So yeah, big shout out for the women and females in motorsport. We can't wait to see you guys trained up and at the top spot as well.
Yeah, I've noticed that Chris and Carson have got the Carlos Sainz helmets.
I wonder if
So we've got like a Carlos Sainz 1 and 2.
Indeed, yeah. Maybe they worked that one together. Maybe it's like, right, we'll do this championship together on the same helmet.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant. It's like the same person racing itself.
Fantastic. Good job through different cars and their rivals, and I tell you what, they'll be racing like rivals today. That I'm sure of. Now then, they're all lining up now, and it's getting ready to go racing. Ooh, it's a little bit nerve-wracking. 3 races left to go, 2 after this one. It's heating up massively, and TTG Chris is your pole sitter. But of course, how many times have we seen Hamilton take the lead here into turn 1 in real life? Can Carlson do the same? Who knows? We're almost ready to go here. We're lining up the last few cars to line up.
Yeah, being second is where they get the better opportunity instead of pole position.
Here we go then. 5 lights here. At Texas, it's lights out. And away we go. And it looks like Carlson does get a good start. I think the Red Bull's going to have to cover off. He does go to the inside, but he comes straight round here.
Got it. Yes, he's got it.
And Carlson are going to be side by side going through to turn 2. We might have contact, but GTD Chris just holds on to P1. Fantastic racing and a great start from Chris. Not a bad effort there to get ahead was Carlson, but TGD Chris shows the strength and the want of wanting this championship. He's got a bit of a gap there already, and we see Icebreak getting up to P11. Everyone else filtering through on this section, very tightly formed on the grid. Nathan Clark goes up to P9, and it's all race and go. And we've got the Williams of Fatty taking a move to the inside of I see you. Drops down to 5th place, and down the straight we go. A lot of drivers side by side. What a start, Andy.
Yeah, and Chris has a good opportunity to build the gap because he's on the mediums and Kristen, he's on the hards. So Chris has got the faster tyres, and that is amazing to see him still in the lead because it's so rare to see the driver from pole at Texas keeping the lead, and that is not easy to keep.
I tell you what's brilliant. We've got 10 drivers racing side by side here all the way through, including F1 Lewis, who keeps swapping places with the Aston Martin of ICU. This is fantastic side by side battling. Every single driver gets away here in the Tuatara Championship, and it's very tightly fought as well on this opening lap.
Yeah, and I can see the Williams. Oh, he's gone off wide. He almost overtook the Haas, and might hit him or pushed him off, but yeah, they're still on track.
We've got Thorin then, who is a little bit further down from the field. Maybe he had an incident or not, but we've got penalties already. Leonardo on the Williams driver picking up a 3-second. We see Emil Janssen, who took that 5 grid penalty, is going to go side by side with ICU. This is amazing stuff through Sector 1. And it's Janssen then who just sneaks into P6. And he will be looking to get onto the boys at the front.
Yeah, and I can see Chris building a very healthy lead. He is now 1.3 seconds ahead of Christian, and I think I can see
F1 Lewis in the McLaren takes a lunge down the inside. Is the Williams then going to have the switch back? He's going to be in the DRS. Remember, no DRS, until lap 3. 2 laps of nothing, but he's coming back with the slipstream is Fatty, and is he going to make a move at all here on this driver? No, he doesn't. We've got a Ferrari at the background there trying to make moves on the Aston Martin as we see him come through the turn. The outside line is for the Ferrari, and we'll go on to that battle, and it is Mansu up into 7th place, but the Aston Martin does not want to yield here, goes round the outside, takes that wider line. Is he going to get that cut back? No, he doesn't. He's actually under pressure from Nathan Clark. This is fantastic stuff at the start of this Grand Prix.
Yeah, Nathan almost had a gap, but Icy was just able to defend him.
Nathan Clark looking very racy out there today, up to 9th place in the Alpine. Chris gets the fastest lap with a 1:36.2. We'd expect that to come down throughout this Grand Prix, but look at these drivers go.
Jay Fields has a 3-second penalty.
Very close racing from all of them. Jay Field picking up our second penalty here on 3 seconds, and we've got battles all over this circuit. It's hard to keep an eye on what's going on here, but this is brilliant stuff. IRT Crack then up to 14th. Let's go on to here. Looks like Carlson drops back a little bit from Chris, but let's have a look at the tyres at the minute. So yes, you are right. TTG Chris is on those medium tyres, but fortunately for him, he's out of the DRS zone for this lap. Carlson though, on the hards.
And the Quasar, he's on a very... He's under a second, and he's going to have DRS.
He is.
Yeah, and he's got it now.
He is. So he's got Kurse then. He's got the DRS. Mansu is making moves on Amel Janssen. Janssen back in the 7th place. There are Ferrari of Mansu not messing about either. He is a championship contender, especially the top 3 contender. Now remember, the top 3 in this championship get prizes, and they're not just any old prizes. They are the top of the top prizes that Tuatara have to offer, and it's fantastic. And a big thank you to our sponsor Tuatara for putting all the funds forward to making this happen for these boys to battle it out in a 10-race championship. And just remember, guys, we are going for another season. So if you do fancy yourself in the Tuatara Championship, don't forget you can join the league. TRL, exclamation mark TRL in the chat right now, and you can sign yourself up for season 3. However, to get in, you can join the Discord, but you've got to qualify for a seat. But the first step is just join that Discord, exclamation mark TRL.
Yeah, I've noticed that the top 3 have all got Carlos Sainz helmets, so...
It is.
I think it's a very popular helmet, this league, isn't it?
It is indeed, but it's looking very close out the front. In fact, it's looking very close throughout the field. These guys are sticking with it. The gap's not... It's not separated as much as we thought it would, especially with the tyre difference as well. Everyone's keeping it very cool and tight, you know. A long way to go, 24 laps here left to go in this race. TGG Chris is 1.9 seconds ahead, but let's hope he hasn't taken too much out of the tyre. Fatty then gets ahead of the McLaren.
F1 Lewis, and he's done it.
He has indeed. Ahead of the McLaren he goes. Let's take away the tyres there, so we've got a bit more screen to see.
Oh yeah, and I can see Fatty's doing much better because he's on the hards and F1 Lewis is on the softs.
He is. The Ferrari of Mansu then is looking racing deal. We've got a battle here with ICU and Slapbus. These two are very much contenders, but they're they're down in 8th and 9th at the minute. You can tell how much
8th
this
and 10th
championship
were
is
separated by 3/10. That is super close.
It is indeed, and but the thing is, the top 10 are not separated by much at all. If we can get a beautiful view up the hill, which I don't think we can, but see how close it is there. We've got Nathan Clark making moves into turn 1. Round the outside he goes. I see who's got the outside line for turn 2. Who's going to come out on top? I believe it is Nathan Clark. Gets himself back up to P9.
Yeah, I noticed that ICU has been struggling a lot more than some of the other drivers because he was quite high up and now he's almost out of the top 10.
But he is on the hard compound tyre, so maybe he's just going through that tyre saving stage in this race. No safety car as yet. All 20 drivers still on the track. 5 laps in of 28. Like I said, a long way to go, and it is a very much big DRS train as it stands. So people are just managing the gap here. And look at Mansu. He's up in the 5th place and takes that position from F1 Lewis. A great clean overtake and he's got Fatty the Williams ahead. And as you can see there, he's not too far away from Curse and Carlson. Carlson has dropped down to P3. The Curse and the McLaren is taking it to him here today.
Yeah, and I can see that Fatty is starting to close up on Carson, and I think Carson might lose the top 3.
I tell you what, with this battling on, it's let TGG Chris really pull away here on a little bit of a race on his own. He's having an absolute fantastic one so far. And like I say, with the Curse, Carlson...
Oh, we might see him come back. He could get B2 again.
No,
he stays B3.
Emil Janssen up in the P6,
right
gets F1 Lewis. F1 Lewis going for that switch back. He's going to try and get it back. He's going to have the outside line, but I believe Janssen just holds on here. And F1 Lewis did everything he can to try and get that position back. But of course, Janssen holding on. What a view through Sector 1. Look how close he is to that rear diffuser. Going through Sector 1 here at Texas. Brilliant view from the rear wing there. Unbelievable stuff.
Yeah, he was right behind him. Oh, and hold on, I can see
Slapbus has taken a
down a
dive.
bit for some reason.
Oh, and there's a slight touch there. Slapbus taking a lunge down, gets that move done, and F1 Lewis is now down in P8. Carlson back up into P2. This is heating up nicely. Slapbus, Emil Jensen side by side again as we go through. At the end of this long straight, side-by-side action here. One of them gets pushed by. He holds his line, Janssen, but he has to yield, and he's now behind F1 Lewis once again. These guys are swapping left, right, and centre here, and we don't know where to look, Andy.
Yeah, because I can see that Fatty is definitely fighting for P3 because he's right behind the Quasar. And there's yellow flag in Sector 3, and I think it's Glesley from the Alpine. I think he might have had a spun because he's gone down.
Gagley has gone down, right down to 19th, but he's got the car up and going again. Up and going again. 2.2 seconds. It looks like Carlson has decided to turn the switch on now. He's on the hard compound tyre. Chris then, lap 7 of 28. Those mediums look like they're going off, but he has created a nice little buffer here. And I believe now Carlson's going to start reeling him in. And this is where the switchover is going to be on the tyres. He's on the hard tyre. And now you can just see he's starting to reel in. He's had, no, I've had enough of this battle. I am going to push on now. And by gosh, he is pushing on. Almost out of the DRS zone is the McLaren driver. He's got to hold on though, that McLaren, if he wants to keep with this pack.
Yeah, I think he might be just about got DRS. Yes, he has. And Fatty, he's got DRS. And I'm not too sure he'd be able to close up.
I tell you who's closing up. It's I see you closing up, but he does back out. You've got the McLaren of F1 Lewis, Janssen fighting it out again.
Oh,
them two are fighting it out all race so far. Look how close this racing is. Lap 7 of 28. And you just can't separate these drivers. There's nowhere to look. This is a fantastic championship. The best of the best. And it is showing out there today, isn't it, Andy?
Yeah, the 7th to 10th are less than a second a gap, and that is mighty close. And this is real close racing.
It is. What's interesting is the 15th downwards are in a little bit of a battle themselves. They've just dropped off from the field a little bit, and running that is the Williams of Lunardi, though. There's a little bit of a group.
Yeah,
there,
he has a 6-second penalty.
He does. Slapbus then gets ahead of Mansu. Mansu going to try that switch back again. Goes round the outside and gets it back on Slapbus. Mansu back up into 5th place. This is swapping and changing all over. Carlson now 2 seconds behind. He's starting to see Chris a little bit closer, and a little bit more encouragement then for Carlson. And he will be trying his hardest for sure to make sure these tyres work out for him and his strategy.
Yeah, and I think that Batty has got the Quasar because he's got DRS and the Quasar hasn't. So I could definitely see, yep, Batty, he's got P3. Simple as that.
And not only
And there's
that,
nothing that the Quasar can do.
you've got Slapbus
Unless he could
taking
do a
Mansu again,
dive bomb.
so
No,
and
he
then
can't.
again you've got Jansen getting ahead of the McLaren as well. So you know this straight here at this Texas circuit, it really has a huge advantage for that DRS and ERS, doesn't it?
Yes, because that's the most easiest place to overtake around the whole racetrack. There are a few straights, but not as long as that one.
I've got to say though, F1 Lewis on those soft compound tyres, he's down in 9th place at the minute, but he's A-lap hold. He seems to be holding on here. He's going down the grid a little bit. He's fighting with the Alpine
Oh,
here,
and the
side by
Quasar's got a
side.
3-second penalty, and F1 Lewis has overtaken Nathan.
He has indeed. We're watching that bottle on track as we speak, and it looks like Nathan is coming right back off F1 Lewis again, and this battle is fantastic. F1 Lewis takes to the inside again, goes for the lunge. It's still side by side. Absolutely brilliant racing here. But now they've let the Aston Martin come amongst it. The Alpine stays out ahead, but what fantastic racecraft from these two.
Oh, that is fantastic. Close to close racing, and this is absolutely brilliant. This is entertainment I love to see.
It is indeed, and Tuatara never disappoints. And like I said, guys, if you are wanting to come into the Tuatara Championship, in the Discord, !TRL in the chat. And if you do struggle with that, join my Discord, !Discord. And if you are wanting to go into the TRL, just let me know and I'll invite you there. F1 Lewis then coming right back at Nathan again on the straight, but this time he's got the Aston Martin coming through, and the Alpine Nathan Clark loses 2 positions here on the straight. As you see, Jantz, the Aston Martin of I see you on the hard compound tyre now, starting to make inroads. Mind you, saying that, he's not giving up as the Alpine. This is fantastic. I've got oh, brilliant stuff. Oh, the Alpine gets a wobble on here. And I tell you what, the reflexes of that Aston was fantastic. Brilliant reflexes to avoid that.
Yeah, and I've also noticed earlier that F1 Alex Racing has retired.
Oh, we have. That is correct. F1 Alex then in the Ferrari has DNF. It's brought no safety car out. So I'm wondering whether or not he did that in the pits. We'll have to get confirmation in the chat. I don't know if you could do that. See if anyone's put...
Oh, I see who has just made a little mistake, but was able to keep it.
Oh, I feel like we need a bit of a breather then. Chris then, managing that gap at the minute, 2.3 seconds. Carlson's managed to get out of that DRS zone of Fatty in 3rd place. Curse is still in that DRS zone of Fatty, but starting to spread out as we see the different tyre strategies come into play here. J Field picking up a 3-second. Mansu still up there as well in the Ferrari. He's in the DRS zone of Slapbus. I'm wondering whether or not we're going to see some maybe some pit stops coming very, very soon. The Curse drops down, and Fatty now into 3rd place, 1.5 seconds behind Carlson. And these two swapping places as well. If Slapbus and Mansu can work together here and just get on the back of them two in front, you know, they've got a chance of a podium here today. I'm not sure we can hear Andy Moore at the minute. Andy, are you there?
I'm here.
Oh, you're there.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
And I think I can see F1 Lewis going to the pits.
We have. So he's on the soft compound tyre. So this could definitely kickstart the pit stops here for the undercut. IRT Cracks coming in the pits as well. He's gone on the medium tyre. We did say we're going into pit territory here for the different strats. And we've got our first two to get themselves in. So let's go back.
And they're both going for hards.
Yep, hard compound tyre.
Also, I noticed they're in some clean air, so if they can do the cutback, they're going to have a good opportunity.
Well, like I said, the gap has not spread out as much as you'd think. So the undercut definitely on here at Kota. So keep an eye on them guys. RT Crack and F1 Lewis. He started on the soft compound tyre. He's going hard, but no safety car in this race so far. Curse then gets back ahead of Farley, but he does have a time penalty.
Yeah, also his tyres are going to be worn out soon, more than Fatty's, because he's on the mediums and Fatty's on the hards. And I can see a bus stop very close by 0.3 of a second behind. He might be able to overtake Fatty on this straight.
Nathan Clark crucially picks up a 3 second though. He's going to be really kicking himself for that as he Oyster jumps into the pits and Nathan Clark stays out for another lap. So yeah, we got lap times. We got pits coming in now, haven't we? Guys coming in.
Yeah, I'm not surprised I'm seeing a lot of people getting penalties because Texas really is tricky of trying to not cut corners because when you're going so fast, it is so difficult to get the...
What's happened to J Field? Sorry, J Field. He's retired in the pits. J Field not happy out there. He's had enough and he's retired in the pits like he should. But the battle here of the Curse, Slapbus and Fatty really hotting up nicely indeed. Look how close these guys are.
Yeah, I have been noticing a lot of retirements from the pit lane. All three have retired from the pits. So I wonder if there's a reason why they've retired, unless they've given up for some reason.
Sometimes it could be equipment issues. Sometimes it could be emergencies at home. And 3 wide, they go! Woo!
It's a double overtake!
Absolute brilliant stuff from Slapbus. 2 overtakes, and the McLarens and the Williams and the McLaren are both racing side by side here. This is fantastic racing.
Yeah, Batty is really fighting for 4th, and I think he's just got it. Yes, he's just got 4th.
He has,
place.
but the gap there from Slapbus, he's managed to pull away, but also he's brought on Mansu. Mansu on the back of this train here, and he's going into the pits alongside the Curse. Wow, the pits are heating up now.
Yeah, and I think he'll be on the hard tyres.
Yeah, Mansu, the Curse, are the top runners here. The top runners that are pitted. So this really could kickstart TTD Chris. He's going to have to come in at some point because they're not too far behind him. He's done 13 laps here on the medium tyre. He's got to come in at some point, hasn't he?
And F1 Lewis has done the fastest lap, a 1 minute 36 dead.
Yeah, remember, he was the first one to come into the pits as well. He started on those soft compound tyres, and he's now gone on to hards, and he's set the fastest lap. I tell you what, Chris has got to be careful here because the undercut is huge here at Texas. And of course, Mansu and F1 Lewis, who pitted first, and these guys here have all pitted now, and they're not far off the lead.
No, and I think Fatty could be overtaking the bus stop, and it's going to be very late, but no, he does the sensible decision by backing off just to save some collision.
Yeah, so Kirsten is 24 seconds behind the lead, and he's on fresh hard tyres. Now, pit stop around here, 22 seconds, something like that? Around about 22 seconds, I believe. So he's got a little bit of a damper as TGD Chris, but he's right on the cuff here. He's really got to think about coming in at some point as we see Carlson. And there you go. I knew it was a matter of time. TGD Chris then is coming in. Carlson, however, started on the hard compound tyre. He's probably going to come in the next, 3 or 4 laps. You'll find him in.
Oh, hold on. What's going on with Chris?
Oh, it's a safety car! We've got a safety car! Ladies and gentlemen!
Oh my god, why is there a safety car?
Biced up this championship! It's a safety car! Lap 14 here in the Tuatara Championship! And I tell you what, that has worked out perfectly for Chris!
Yeah, I think it really has.
Has it worked out for Carlson though? That is the question. Carlson going round for another lap. He's going to have the delta here. Wow, this has shaped things up. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Lap 14, we've got a safety car. And I believe it was Gagley. Was it Gagley?
Yeah, I think it was Gagley because he was the last to retire, and I still remember him still competing for a few laps earlier. And I think, yeah, he must be the one who brought the safety car up.
This is what we live for, says Average Joe. Welcome in, Average. And I tell you what, round 8 of the Tuatara Championship, and this is every week I get a massive smile on my face on how competitive and how good these guys race wheel to wheel. It's just fantastic. It's just fantastic, it really is. And Andy, what's your opinions? This is your second time here now commentating on the Tuatara Championship. What's your opinions on this, comparing this to the other leagues that you're in?
Oh, well, this is very close racing because I've been raced with a few leagues for quite some time, and some of them have been crazy, some that have been really good, but this is so even compared to other leagues I've been in, just like the Alpine Esports. I'm not sure if I could compete with these guys. These look like really good drivers.
I think we've got around about 7 or 8 drivers here that are in the top 200 of the world. And you can, and it does show these guys not only are the fastest. Hang on, Carlson! He's done it! Oh my God! Carlson has jumped! Chris with the safety car. So there's me thinking it's dampened him. It's worked out for Carlson. The luck continues to be on his side. Everything TGDD Chris did was right. He managed the gap. The safety car came out. And Carlson gets the look of the Irish here. Wow. Carlson then. Ooh. That has spiced. I'll tell you what. That has spiced it up massively. He must be laughing underneath that helmet as our Carlson. TGD Chris the Welshman. I'm sure there'll be a few swear words if there was a team radio right now.
Yeah, and I think Icy has been disqualified. Wonder why.
Not sure how that's happened, but we'll find out after the race, I'm sure.
Yeah, now we're down to 15 drivers and we're already halfway. And I think I can see only 2 cars left to bunch up. And then I think we'll go ready racing again.
Alrighty then, so Carlson then is now in the lead thanks to a very, very lucky moment in the safety car there. Chris did everything he could do there. What's interesting now though is Carlson is on the better tyre, but of course there is it's going to be about 13 laps here of racing left before we get going. Will those hards come back into play? Can Chris hold on to Carlson here while he's on the freshest tyre? He looked a little bit quicker here than Carlson out here today, so maybe he can hold on to him. We'll have to wait and see. But this latter stages of this race is going to definitely be heating up.
Yeah, and I think these mediums are not going to last very long compared to the hards, because Carlson, he was on the hards, and Chris, he was on the mediums, 1 lap less than Carlson was on the hards. So I think Chris could get more the advantage at the end of the race.
Yeah, well, he's definitely going to have the advantage towards the end, but it's how much pace difference is it going to be? Can he keep hold of Carlson? Can he manage his ERS? And of course, you've got the likes of Slapbus on the mediums as well, Fatty on the mediums, Emil Jensen on the mediums. So all these guys are on the better tyre at the kickstart of this race. And what you don't want to do is get involved in a battle here with the guys behind, because that's going to allow Carlson to pull away on those mediums. So he's got a very interesting strategy ahead of him and how he plays this one out, the Red Bull driver. So unfortunate for him because he's managed that first stint absolutely perfectly. But that's what makes it racing and exciting. Stay with us here, ladies and gentlemen. it's going to be one hell of the last, 13, 12 laps here of this Grand Prix. It looks like it's going to be in this lap. Nathan Clark just coming punching up to the field right now. Andy Moore, I think I might let you take this one.
All right. Okay, so I think safety car is in this lap, and I can see, yeah, it's starting to pull away. Carson is closing the bunch, and always going very slowly, and the cars are going very close. Also, I noticed that Nathan's over.
He's probably. When do you go around here? Does he go early? He's backing it up very, very early as Carlson. Be interesting where the best place to go here, because you've got that last turn, but the thing is you don't want to get that power down too early and light up those rears. But at the same time, where is he going to go? He's almost ready to go,
I think it could be somewhere on this straight. No, I think he'll be at the next corner. I think he'll be going now. Yeah, he's gone. And there we go. We're back racing again, everybody. And
it's going to be like a snake down the straight here. I tell you what, he's going to go for the lunge.
Stop! It's going to go for a lunge. Can he do it? Yeah, I think he has. Just.
Absolute crazy. TTD, Chris and Slapbus going side by side. He's still holding on, but Chris manages, and like we said, manages to stay in front. But look at the gap already here from Carlson. That's what he didn't want. He knew it was going to happen. Those medium tyres do get up to temperature a lot easier here. And but well done to him managing to keep hold of P2 there.
Yeah, that was so close. Chris nearly lost second position, and Carlson, what a start already.
Oh, we got a McLaren.
The
curse. The curse has gone round again. Looks like the Williams of Lunardo's gone in the back of someone as well and lost his front wing. But we've got no time to breathe here. We've got Slapbus going to the inside on those fresh mediums, and he's up in the P2.
Yeah, and it's Icebreak that goes ahead of Oyster. No, they're saying where they are. Well, we're seeing some good racing between teammates here with Alfa Romeo and the McLarens.
And look at that, Slapbus not hanging about with a minute. He's in the DRS zone of Carlson, sticking with him. Chris then struggling to heat up these hard tyres at this stage of the race. But for him, he's got to think about the last 5 laps. He's going to be on that better tyre. He's got to stick with these guys though.
Yeah, and Carlson has done a new fastest lap, a 1 minute 34.9. That is over a second quicker than the previous best.
It is indeed. Mansu loses that position then to Icebreak. Icebreak making moves in this race as well. We've got ITT Crack making a move on the Alpine of Nathan Clark up into 11th place. But the battle is here. Let's go back on to Fatty, who is putting the pressure on Chris as well on those hard compound tyres. And at this stage, Chris...
You mean mediums?
Sorry, mediums, sorry. And Chris has just got to keep it cool and stay with them. Def Peacock then takes a 3-second penalty for track limits.
Yeah. Still people are breaking the track limits. It's normal around Texas because we've all had this error and we all make these mistakes of going across track, because I've done that quite a few times.
Remember, no DRS for 2 laps, and interesting enough, Slapbus then already showing that red flashing light, recharging the ERS battery, so he's used a lot. As you can see there, just a nice view of it flashing. He wants to be careful he doesn't get hung out to dry in here when Chris starts coming back at him. He's used quite a lot as well, 30% as it stands, just to try and keep with these guys.
He's under a second. I think he's going
What's
to get
happening, Nathan
DRS
Clark?
on that long straight.
Nathan Clark's gone round. Nathan Clark has had a spin. Not sure what's happened there. He's got all of his wings still. Chris has picked up a 3 seconds. So is Slapbus, and that's going to be crucial to this race.
Oh, no, he was doing so well. He might be able to get a 3-second gap, but that's going to be tricky for Slapbus. And Chris, he was doing so well. He was leading. And now things are going so wrong for the Red Bull driver.
Well, he's got to keep his cool here because, like you said earlier, the American Texas Grand Prix, very harsh on the penalties. Some areas of the track he can really almost cut off the track, but other areas very quick to give you a warning for track limits. So he's got to keep it together and hope Carlson maybe gets a 3 second as well. But he's got to be put under pressure at the minute. He's out of that DRS zone and crucially on the lap that it's opened up.
Oh, and I think Fatty's going to make a very early overtake on Chris. Yes, he does. And the question is Fatty going to get DRS or is it going to be Chris?
Nope,
it's
Fatty does get that DRS as well. Very smartly done there for the Williams driver, making sure he get that move, but before he passed that DRS detection zone. I tell you what, Chris has lost 2.
And Jason is overtaking Chris.
He has indeed.
Has he done it?
And like I say, those hard tyres, he's not enjoying the hard tyres, is Chris. In the back end sliding out with him as well. And now Chris down into 5th place, but he's going to try the switch back here.
Is Chris going to make the little dive? No,
he's not. He's trying everything. Jason. He's trying everything, but he's just not enjoying those hard tyres.
Oh, safety car's out.
Safety car?
Why safety car?
Oh my days, another safety car in this race. Holy moly. It took 14 laps, and I've got to say, I think Chris is going to come in. Carlson's come in. Slapbus has stayed out. Slapbus then has stayed out. A lot of different strategies here. Oh, this is heating it up even more here. Wow.
I wonder if Slapbus might have missed an opportunity, but if he hasn't, then he would make a very lucky gamble if he was right.
Well, you've got to think the safety car came out on the moment that, you know, these tyres will go to the end anyway. But I've got to say, Chris going in, and he's gone back on those medium tyres because he was having such a good race, but the way the setup was for his car, those hards were just not working for him whatsoever compared to the likes of Carlson in that first stint in the race. Carlson looked like he was a little bit better balanced. The car was a little bit more balanced on those hard tyres. And like I say, Chris was not enjoying it out there, and he's gone back on the mediums. Down in 8th place now, Chris. He's got a lot to do on the restart of this race, as our Chris. And Carlson now down in 5th place as well after the stop as well. Let's have a little look at the tyres. Oyster and Wapple, IRT Crack and Nathan Clark gone on the soft compound tyre. Mansu stayed out on the hards. The hards will go to the end. Of course they will go to the end, no problems at all with 8 laps left remaining. A lot to play for here, and they're going to have to defend like absolute Trojans because Carlson on the medium tyre is basically your net 1 with that extra pit stop and those extra fresh pair of mediums. Fatty is effectively net P2 at the minute, but you say net P2, these guys in front will not pit again, so they will have to get the overtakes done.
Yes, because I could see the top 2 who've got 3-second penalties, and I think that Mansu is technically the race leader at this moment, but who knows how he'll plan out the restart.
So, you know, his tyres are going to be perfect. His tyres will be perfect towards the end. What he needs to hope is Def Peacock holds up Carlson a bit, and Mansu can stay away from any penalties, try and make some early overtakes, and Mansu could have an opportunity here of getting the race win. But if Carlson is, if the pass is anything to go by, Carlson will be hungry for this race win as well, down in 5th place. So, yeah, safety car here. We're going to be in on lap 22, which leaves us 6 laps.
And I noticed that Crack's in the pits again.
He's going to go on the soft tyre, isn't he? That's what he's going on.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, after having a bit of a, not waking up from my alarm and been a bit late here on this championship tonight, and of course, thank you very much for everyone that is watching this league. We were 45 minutes late to get going, and that was down to me, guys. I do apologise. I went for a nap. I was up early this morning. I went for a first aid course, and we all know what first aid courses are like. A bit strenuous on the brain. I went upstairs for a bit of a nap, and well, yeah, we didn't wake back up. until 6 minutes past 8. So it's all panics ahead. And once again, a big shout out to F1 Vincenzo and all of the drivers for being very patient here tonight and making this race happen. And what a race it's been so far.
Yeah, because we have seen a lot of up and downs, and there's been a few spins, a few cars getting themselves back up, and God, this has been one of the best races I've seen.
It's been one hell of a championship, I've got to say. It's very difficult to pick out a highlight of the race because of the races so far this season, because every single race has been like this, Andy. It has been incredible to watch week in, week out. I hope you guys have enjoyed this championship. Like I said, 2 more races to go after this, and we will be taking sign-ups for the Season 3, where hopefully we'll be able to put a Tier 2 out on track as well for you guys to entertain and possibly race. Exclamation mark TRL in chat if you fancy yourself in the Tuatara Championship for Season 3.
Yeah, safety car is in this lap, and Slap Bus is really closing the field. And Slap Bus controls the restart.
He's gone early. He's gone very early. Fair play to Slapbus. Very early indeed. But Icebreak saw that one coming and he stuck with him here along with all the other drivers. Not a bad effort from all these guys. And I think we're going to get a nice little look of all these drivers going up the hill here into turn 1. It looks like one of the guys up from Mercedes, Carlson, already making moves to the outside. Def Peacock spins it on the exit of turn 1. Carlson looking to not get gathered up by that as well. And he's already on the charges. Carlson up into 4th place. Mansu in 3rd. And Icebreak and Slapbus get away nicely indeed. But it didn't work out for Mansu in respect of Def Peacock holding up Carlson at all.
Oh, Def Peacock was in such a good position, and now he's over 6 seconds behind the second last driver. That is so painful to watch.
And once again, with the safety car restart, no DRS for a couple of laps here. Icebreak takes to the inside on Slapbus. And is he going to get that race lead back? No, we've got the Alpha, we've got the Haas coming back for the switchback here on these two. Are they going to go around the outside? No, he's not. And Icebreak does hold off Slapbus for the moment. But Slapbus is not giving up on this position whatsoever and fights it all the way. We've got guys in the background. This is getting closer and closer, guys.
Oh, he was so close to contact, and he was like inches away from Icebreak.
We got yellow flags. It's the AlphaTauri out the back somewhere. No way.
No way. Peacock's out.
No way. Def Peacock is out of the race, and we do have another safety car. This is where it gets a little bit silly. It does get a little bit silly, this.
Yeah, and it does give the Aston Martin an opportunity to pit.
It does indeed. I just hope that Def Peacock didn't do that on purpose. I will be asking for his footage at the end of this race, because if he has DNF'd himself, I'm not saying he has right now, but to bring out another safety car on lap 23 of 28 and then leave the session looks a little bit more of a rage than anything, but we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, I'm Leonardo at 13. Can someone re-invite me? Unfortunately, because we don't have TK in today, I can't invite you because I didn't do the invites because Vincenzo did. So I do apologise. Yeah, I do apologise, mate. I cannot invite you back in.
And at the moment, Mansu is technically the race leader because of Slapbus's and Icebreak's penalties.
Let's see if I can invite you back in. If I go to race director, can I do it from there? I can't do it from there because it's on EA. Leonardo. I don't know if I've got him on here. Leonardo.
Okay, I get the feeling that the safety car will be coming in this lap, and I think he'll say it any moment now. Pretty sure he'll come in this lap.
You're not appearing online, buddy, so I can't invite you in. You're not appearing online, mate, so I can't invite you in if you're not appearing online.
Oh, I don't think the safety car's coming in this lap. I think they're going around another
It's got to
lap.
complete 2 laps, buddy.
Oh.
If you're not appearing
And are we
online,
gonna see
it will not
anyone in
come
the
up, buddy.
pits?
So we'll try one more time for you. But I've got to say we are live on stream. So if it doesn't come up now, which is not, look, it's not coming up, mate. It's not there, so I can't invite you in, buddy.
Yeah, Crack's in the pits again.
Okay, let's get back onto this race. The invite menu.
Interesting strategy from Crack.
I'll try one more time for you, mate. But if you're not active online, I can't do anything about it, friend.
So the only drivers I can't see having the penalty are Mansu, Kraken, Fatty, Jason.
You're not there, buddy. I can't do anything about that. You're not appearing online. Are you not appearing online? I don't know, but it's not coming up, mate. You're not there, mate. You're not there. Well, what an end to this race this is going to be. 4 laps left remaining. Carlson has stayed out. TGD Chris has got a 3-second penalty. He stayed out again. He's going to be in this lap. 14 drivers remaining. Once again, Lunardi Dodo. I do apologise. But it is what it is, unfortunately, in this one.
Yeah, I think Lanardi Dudu has got the most penalties of them all.
Can I watch pens? Yes, I will, Andre. I will take a look at pens. I'm just going to literally do everything I can. One last go here at trying to get Leonardo in. If it's appearing online now, I can do it. If it's not, unfortunately, I can't.
All right, here we go. Safety car's in this lap, and this is where Icebreak will slow down and
No, I've tried one more
back up
time.
the pack.
That's it. Sorry. That's all you're getting from me.
And I can see Slapbus, whoa, very close behind.
It shouldn't
And-
be
whoa.
because it's on these. I just went on my EA account, my EA. So,
This
yeah.
is.
Anyway, let's get back into this race.
Ice.
Icebreak leading this race here at the minute. He's got a 3 seconds, so is Slapbus. Let's go on to the penalties here. And there we go. Carlson with nothing. Mansu with nothing. Mansu's just got to hold on, but he's got the hard compound tyre on here. And he's got to get ahead of these guys in front and try and hold up Carlson a little bit, hasn't he?
Yeah. And the question is Icebreak going to go at the same time Carlson did? Yes, he does.
He does. Look how he's...
Oh, wait, no, doesn't.
He's not. He's gone now, and that's bunched it
No.
up massively. Oh, and this could be a bit juicy into turn 1 on the restart of this race. Lap 25 here, and look at them go into turn 1. Holy moly, we're going to have 3 cars. Oh my God, how are they still going? Oh, they all get through, hopefully with no damage. But we had 4 drivers side by side into turn 1, and they all funnel through sector 1. Fantastic restart of this race. That's what we want to see.
Yeah, and I noticed that Icebreak did go wide at turn 2, but
Carlson's battling out with Mansu. He was always going to get forced wide there, but he holds it around the outside. Carlson up into 3-3 on Mansu. Mansu getting a bit of a tag there from the McLaren and Williams. He's trying to drive back out here, and this is getting very busy. This is unbelievable scenes here in the Tuatara Championship. Holy moly!
Oh, my word, this is brilliant. Look at the 4. They are so bunched up. There's 2 tenths the difference on the top of those 4.
Look at the battles
think
we're seeing here on round 8 of the Tuatara Championship. Everyone wants it.
Oh
Carlson
my
gets a little bit of a tag. Oh, it's all going on here. Unbelievable scenes. Carlson could be out of the points again here in the Tuatara Championship. He's got to be very careful. It's absolute carnage. Oh my days, the stewards are going to be busy today.
Chris has gone to, oh my, what, this comes, oh, Bryson hits the Aston Martin, and Goodness me, what is happening?
I think the energy has got a little bit too much for these guys on the last stage of this race. And TTD Chris down in 13th, Carlson up into 10th place again. And my gosh, an opportunity for Chris to get ahead of Carlson has been unfolded here. And my God, it's incredible scenes. But Fatty in the Williams, a reserve driver, could take the race win here. As you see, Icebreak get a 6-second. Everyone's getting penalties here in this race. Mansu down in 9th place on the hard compound tyre. If he gets on the back of this pack, he could also jump up a few places. My God.
And Chris has also got another penalty, and this has been a crazy restart.
It really has, and that's the problem when you've got a safety car on the last few laps of this race. Oyster then gets ahead. Carlson not messing about at all. Carlson is really trying to make moves now, and well, I'm a little bit gobsmacked. A lot of drivers, a lot of built-up energy. We had moments of absolute greatness with these, but it ended up being just too much for these guys to handle. Too close contact as well, and there was a bit of a mess here at the end of this race, but hey, that's racing. Carlson making moves, but Fatty sticking with the top three here,
so
and
close to
it
contact.
could be Fatty's race to win as a reserve driver. Not a bad show for him.
Yeah, and Crack, he was 14th, and now he's 5th. He has moved up 9 positions in one lap. That is mega.
It is mega, but 2 laps left to go. Carlson in 9th place. He doesn't have a single penalty. If he can get on the back of this pack, he can definitely help out his race again as Carlson. But I do believe the stewards might be busy on the last few on the restart of this race. I mean, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because what do you think, chat? We had some amazing close racing, but you know, if you're going to have 4 cars racing side by side like that, really challenging for position on the opening restart, I mean, there was always going to be accidents to happen there, no matter how good of a racecraft driver you are. I think they did well. But I think emotions got the better of them as well. It's been a fun one, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been real fun seeing close-up racing, and at some point there was going to be contact, and there was, but it was crazy. Some were making mistakes, and then they were making further mistakes, and it's like they were really starting to feel impatient. And now I think I'm seeing Fatty starting to close up on bus stop, but he doesn't
I am
overtake.
indeed. So Fatty then in P2, but look at F1 Lewis. He's got a 3-second penalty. He could probably sniff a podium here as well. He could get himself in a podium position. He's got a 3-second, but he's got to make an overtake of one of these guys of Slapbus or Icebreak to get that podium. He's got to make sure he does it right. Fatty though on track at the minute for the race win after penalties, but like I say, he would like to get this done on track. We're on the penultimate lap here of this 28 lap race around the Texas Grand Prix, and here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It is the last lap here in the Tuatara Championship round 8. Who's it going to be? Who's your money on? And I tell you what, out of 4 drivers out on track, it's looking like it's going to be Fatty's, but look at Carlson. Oyster making a move there on IT Crack. Carlson needs to keep pushing here because he could jump a lot of these drivers if he can get on the back here on the last lap. But we're going to go back onto Fatty because this is where the race is. Who is it going to be? Who is it going to get the podium position? This is the last lap, ladies and gentlemen, and you can't get any closer on track.
No, you can't. The second to fourth was less than 0.3 of a second of distance. And now we're going on the straight, I think.
Whoa, Carlson's got ahead of Carlson. Carlson has, TGD Chris has got ahead of Carlson. He's come out of nowhere here as TGD Chris. But he does have a 6-second.
Yeah, well, we're making it just because he's got a penalty. Oh, and I think I can see bus stop overtaking Icebreak.
Here we go then. Fatty's got to be very careful here. He goes round to the outside. F1 Lewis takes a little lunge to the inside. The gap gets closed off and they just managed to get through. It's all going for it here. F1 Lewis takes a lunge to the inside. Is he going to get it? Fatty got to remember all he's got to do here is stay side by side. He's got the race win. F1 Lewis going round. Where's F1 Lewis gone? He's gone off track. My God, what a fight this is on the last few turns of this race. Icebreak's going to take the checkered flag here, but it's going to be Fatty that takes the race win here at Texas, what an absolute race that is. Holy moly.
Oh, yes. I had a bit in Fancy will win if he would keep it together, not cut any corners. And he was one of the most tidiest racers of this race.
F1 Lewis does pick up that podium in the end. And Fatty gets that race win. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. What an end to this race. Woo! Fatty takes the race win here. And congratulations to him. One of the only drivers not to get a penalty for track limits here, which is very difficult to do, isn't it, Andy?
Yes, because I did the exact same thing, keeping it neat and tidy at a Canadian Grand Prix, and I was, well, from the restart from the safety car, I was racing in 6th place, but after all the penalties that the others have got, it brought me up to P2 in that league race, and that's what got me that podium with all those penalties. This is exactly what's happened with Fatty.
Exactly that, and that just goes to prove as well that, you know, it's not all about the pace, it's about how clean are you, especially with league racing. You will be rewarded by not getting those penalties like Fatty has done today. Finished 3rd on track, but he takes that top spot on the podium for having no penalties, and he should be very proud of himself for that one. A reserve driver as well, may I add.
Yeah, I think this is really going to put him up a step, and this might even get him, instead of a reserve driver, maybe a full seat in the season, maybe for next time.
Indeed it does, but like I say, every season you have to qualify for this event. You can't just show up and get a seat. You have to then qualify to get into this championship as well. And we're hoping to put on a tier 2 as well for next season as well for the slower drivers, but everyone is welcome, and we'll see how that plans out. Fatty then is your race winner here today. Let me just take a photo quickly because we ain't got TK with me today.
And I've noticed that Fatty and the Aston Martin and Bryson are the only drivers I could see that haven't got a penalty.
Yeah, fastest lap goes to... Oh, damn, I missed it.
The Quasar. He did a 1 minute 34.3.
I did manage to take the photo. 1:34.392, which goes to Curse. Yeah, that's it. Right, perfect. Well, there you go. Woo, let's go back into the chat. Well, Andy Moore. That had everything in that, didn't it?
Oh, yeah, it had everything. We've seen rivalry, we've seen battles, we have seen collisions, and a lot of changes and drama. This is more than what we see in real life racing, and this is why sim racing is definitely a race we love to see.
It is. It creates amazing excitement when you've got a group of guys like we have today that are just so close in racing. It's all about the management, and it got a little bit heated at the end there, didn't it? But I'm sure the stewards will be very, very busy. But what does this mean for the championship, guys? Carlson not having a great time out there today. Whether or not he deems that to be his fault or not, we'll have to wait and see what the stewards come out. But at the end of the day, that is racing. And I think he finished down in 8th place in the end, didn't he? 9th or 8th place, something like that.
Yeah, I'm afraid that his luck of neat and tidy driving didn't help him because the others were able to increase the gap. And it's a real shame because not just him, Chris and others, they fell out and they did so well. And they nearly got podiums, but it wasn't meant to be.
It wasn't at all. And I think the thing is, on that restart, you've got to give it to the boys as well. Not many drivers can race that close together through 2 sectors on the restart like they did. I think it was a matter of time before one of the drivers got tagged. But, congratulations to the drivers really trying. You could tell they try to keep that race craft and give each other respect. But racing like that at that speed, some things will happen. But that's for stewards to decide later on. But, we've got next week, we've got the Monaco, which is going to be all about qualifying. And we're going to be joined by your best friend. Any words on any advice for Josh Marsh coming in for next week, Andy?
Well, I hope he does a great job as I do. And he has been such a good entertainer, especially on TikTok. And I feel like he's going to do just as well as I can.
That's absolutely fantastic. And just one more question there before we go. Is it you that's the king of TikTok, or is F1 TikTok, or is it Josh Marsh?
I think I'm getting more likes and views than Josh at the moment, so I think it's still me.
Oh, you still think it's you? Brilliant. Fantastic stuff. Once again, Andy Moore joining us here today in the comms box. Thank you very much to him. I hope he's enjoyed himself as well as I have. And I hope you guys at home have enjoyed yourself as well. It's been a hell of a race. It's really heating up. Carlson, not your race winner here today, and it's very much opened this championship up. Join us next week at Monaco for the 9th round, the penultimate round for this championship. Monaco with me and Josh Marsh, the other TikTok Formula One sensation. And we'll see you all next week. Thank you very, very much for joining. What a race it was. Goodbye.
Yep. See you later.